Russell and Mac Wilburn needed a partner. They needed Bible black businesses to show up in downtown Atlanta, and we did. We invested in our community, and we were able, through the trade mission, recruit and support the 1996 Olympics. And we brought flowers. There are hundreds of us. And we did an international flower show as part of the 1996 Olympics. Because of what vision God gave me to create that first black trade mission in 1989. You see, the full circle is coming today. And I thank God for Mr. Washington, for Mr. Mansa Musa, who you did not meet, but he's here at the trade show. But he had the vision that God gave him when he researched and found out what I had done with the trade mission. And he wanted to come to Atlanta to meet me because he took that, what we did, because he could not believe blacks would do a trade mission. And develop a curriculum and start teaching about it at the university. But then he wanted to come to America. He lives in Ethiopia. And now I have been able to help Ambassador Young bring full circle what we started out doing, matching Africans, Caribbeans with African Americans. And I thank you for being a part of this coming to full circle. Now we will have an engine on the ground to continue the work and the legacy that we have created here in Georgia. And I just want to thank you for that. My family, my church members, my community, and then my extended family and all the organizations. I want to thank Commissioner Johnson for giving me the opportunity. He works me. He appoints me to a lot of boards. And it's a lot of work. But let me tell you, that's how we get things done, how he gets support. And many of you need to look at serving on these boards. Because that's what the policy is implemented and executed. I need to be replaced. So I'm asking you to think about that. I'm on the zoning board of appeals for the DeKalb County. That's why all the permits and developers, whatever happens in your neighborhood, the streets paid, and you can stop some of this unfair development in your neighborhood just by being on the board.
Teach you this.
And you can change the codes. I just helped stop 2 houses going up in our community that were too close together. I told the developer, you don't do this in your community. We cannot allow you to do that in ours. So we need to be known. And finally, in that development area, housing is key, and that's what I want to advocate today. We are going to have to house our own people. Yes. God said we need to have food and shelter. Yes. And we just talk about it, but we don't do it. And if had I not been on that board that Commissioner Johnson put me on, First Baptist Church would not be built in 125 units for seniors over that show Saturday. But the others weren't interested in senior housing coming into the community. But I had to fight to make sure they understand who we are and to give it back of the taxes that we pay and the sacrifices we have made 400 years. So I tell the story when I'm inside the room. I don't wait till outside. And when I asked in the last flash meeting, June 30th, how many black women have you given a business opportunity to pave streets, to build buildings, or to help improve parks? And that project manager could not answer the question. And I did, and he said, well, we don't keep those kind of records. And I said to him, do you know that President Biden signed an executive order on equity and equality, 13985. And you need to know that means every dollar spent from the federal, state, and local, you have to make sure that that law he put in place told the U.S. Treasury that you have to keep the records by race, by sex, by veteran, by disabled, for every level of government. So now you have a law that you have to follow to make sure I know how many black women that you have served through Splash in the care camp. The room felt silent. See, when you know the law and you know what to do with the law, you need to make a difference in your community. We need to move as we match up. We need people like Commissioner Larry Johnson, like what he just stood here and said, what he's doing in other countries. In our own community, our seniors are hurting. Because we who have moved to the next level are not looking back. And we're not making sure our elders are taken care of. They should have the best quality of life ever. And we need to make that happen through our intellect and through our support of our elected officials and through our demand for a return on the investment of our tax dollars that we get. That's what this is all about. And I wanted to thank you for giving me the opportunity to let you know the core of the basis for why I do what I do. God bless.
That was so wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Alice White Bussie. I tell y'all, wasn't that a beautiful, heartfelt expression from her? I'm not saying that just to say that. That was really beautiful, all that history. And she put her mouth, her money, her actions, where her mouth was. And so don't y'all leave now, because she done gave me instructions. Y'all not gonna get me in trouble today. Not today. Okay, so we got 2 more things to do. I'm gonna bring Sharon J. Hill back up. Yes, you are. Because we're ready to do the closing remarks of the adjournment. That's all gonna be combined. But she wants to make sure that there's business matching, correct? And a tour. Lord Hester, who's doing tour? What we doing? How we doing? Give me some direction. So you see, Lord Hester, he's gonna be your tour master. You can't leave. So we get ready to adjourn. She's gonna give closing remarks for me, so I won't have to do it in conjunction with her. Oh, I'm sorry. Because y'all heard somebody go, ugh. Only candidates go, ugh. Okay, so I do want, for 1 minute, for Janice Laws Robinson to come up. Remember I told y'all about her earlier. I really do want her to come up and say about, 30 seconds.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Janice Laws Robinson, and I am the Democratic nominee for Insurance Commissioner. Election is November 8th, and I'm asking for your support. You should have received a card on your table with more information, so please feel free to visit my website, and I would love for you to hear more from me. So I want to keep my 30 seconds and honor Dr. Bussie. Dr. Bussie, I just want to thank you, let you know I appreciate you. I've been on the road all over, and I said I have to come to make sure I'm here for this occasion. Everyone has said everything that could be said, so not much more to add. I just want you to know I appreciate you, I love you, I stand on your shoulders. You've done so much to support me since 2018, and you continue to support my candidacy, and I appreciate it. And I listen to you. Every time I call Dr. Bussie, she has someone for me to call, and I make sure I call them, because when she says, call this person, one person in 2018 transformed my entire campaign. So I take notes, and I call everyone she says to call. So she always does the best. So thank you for everything you do and that you continue to do. I stand on your shoulders, and I just appreciate you. I will.
What is your website? Your website?
It's on the card. It's Janice, Janice, 4, forgeorgia.com. So it's spelled just like Janice, it's Janice. Forgeorgia.com.
Okay. All right. So y'all govern yourselves accordingly. All right. Now, Sharon J. Hill, you come up. Thank you to every single person that was in this room. Lord Hester's going to give the tour. Dr. Alice Bussie, anything else you want us to do? Because I don't want to sit down and you just want to make sure. Anything else? Okay, nothing else. So they want to be in trouble or anything like that. Okay, all right, so we're going to let Sharon close it on out. Thank you all. Oh, listen, because I got a new hustle going now, y'all. So if you need me to come and MC your program, or if you would like for me to come to just speak or preach, whatever, you can come by D-Dawkins Hagler, and I will be of service to you. That's my other new side business, since it seems to be working out.
Launched right here. Continue. Again, thank you everyone. My committee members of the Economic Development Committee, Concerned Black Clergy, led by our chair, Dr. Alice Bussie. Thank you also very much for being here from around the world. This is us connecting across the miles right here for you. And I do have something from Maynard Eaton, and it is, as an Emmy Award-winning TV news reporter and Black press journalist, I found Dr. Alice Bussie to be a captivating, candid, compelling, and charismatic. Her magnetic smile is infectious and inspiring. As a pioneering African-American entrepreneur in the florist industry, she was a flower of a female power broker who bloomed and blossomed in local and international politics, while cultivating a garden of civil rights activism alongside fellow Atlanta legends like the renowned Ambassador Andrew Young and late Dr. Joseph Lowry. Dr. Bussie is a revered social justice pioneer, an international import-export who is most deserving of this recognition. Maynard Eaton, and he is the National Communications Director for SCLC, Eaton Media Group, and the moderator for Newsmakers Live. And so, as we close this day, so much has been said. However, let us really get down to this as we have honored Dr. Alice Bussie, co-owner of Bussie Flowers and Gifts, a trailblazer, who, with her late husband, Dr. James Bussie, we know that she's led an historic trade and investment mission to Africa for more than 30 years. The tributes for today at the new Black Wall Street brings full circle of brightening the corner where you are, will, as it has both highlighted and honored the inspiration, motivation, and dedication to Africans and Black peoples across the diaspora. It has been your time to give thanks and appreciate the tireless work we all know Dr. Bussie for, from her leadership of the Economic Development Committee of the Concerned Black Clergy of Metropolitan Atlanta, CBC, with the Parade of Black Businesses and the annual Business March, to being past president of the Atlanta Business League, ABL founder of the ABL Super Tuesday for Women in Business, State of Black Business Congress, and the Ellenwood County Line Day, to the American Rescue Plan, ARPA, foraging industries from SBA to Unity National Bank to the DeKalb County on accountability. She has, and we have today, chronicled just a little bit, a taste of Alice Bussie for her intentional economic empowerment influences. This is about what she has been and who she is to us. Her impact on galvanizing leadership for what has been the launching pad of so many more African trade conferences, delegations, sister cities, international studies, business funding, innovation, expansion for addressing the needs of Black people and their heritage appreciation.
Now, as we have experienced this day with Ambassador Andrew Young, leading this 2020 Pan-African Trade and Investment Conference with global businesses and financial opportunity, culminating in this time tribute. We are embracing the diaspora for what is happening in the world. This a concerted, rededicated Sankofa spirit of looking back, reaching back to Africa. And it is in this spirit we pause for this cause. And so now, Dr. Alice Bussie has truly been our economic development whisperer.
Yes. Amen.
So now, our time has come, and the time is now. We have had an awesome time today for recognizing and honoring the Bussie factor. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your memories, your testimonies of her being that voice to nudge you to that place of economic enlightenment, African insight, procurement know-how, and get it done for Black people nurturer. Dr. Alice Bussie, you are our economic difference made. We begin the business matching with tour. Oh, is it the match? Okay. You've been matching all day, right? Okay. Okay, it's time to, Lord, you want to come and give directions. Thank everyone so very much. Blessings for Ms. Bussie's family and everyone.
Good afternoon. All persons who want to do this tour who've not been here before, I'd like to give you a little history. We're going to walk through the market. This is a former Target superstore. Mr. Allen took this particular building after being stopped on his original plan to create the new Black Wall Street International Village, which is an $800 billion development down the street from here. When COVID stopped that development, he came into this building and created what you will see, the new Black Wall Street Mall.
Agenda for our voter empowerment. And so with you all today, a tribute to Ms. Alice White Bussie. This is an awesome, awesome time because, hey, it is time. And so, again, the moderator for today is the Honorable D. Dawkins Hagler, founder of Organizations of World Leaders. Well, I said, I sort of kind of know her. Sort of, kind of. But get this, Wikipedia says, D. Dawkins Hagler is an American politician from the U.S. state of Georgia, a Democrat. She is a member of the Georgia House of Representatives, that was then, representing the state's 91st district. She did that, you all, until 2017. And she has also been a candidate for Secretary of State. And so, the servant leader, the one who made sure that when she, as Ms. Alice White Bussie, worked for the federal government, they knew how to bring it home. They set the precedent for what we must do and how we get it done. D. Dawkins Hagler came and brought us into training women from the Republic of Congo. And so, from that to all that she has done leading the Georgia State Legislature body as the chair, come on up, that's right, of the chair of the caucus, the Black Caucus, that's right, as well as bringing trade herself. So truly, she has been the example and the reason that we need her to moderate this day of Historic Pan-African Trade Show Investment and Conference, a tribute to Ms. Alice White Bussie. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is so exciting. I could not imagine a better introduction than that given by Sharon J. Hill. And we just love Sharon J. Hill. Wasn't her voice so melodious? It just made you feel so welcome to be in this place. But we could not be here to celebrate a more wonderful, well-rounded leader other than that of Alice Bussie. Correct? Y'all give Alice Bussie a round of applause. Now, Dr. Alice Bussie is a woman who really needs no introduction. She's going to tell you just like it is. We're going to do it the right way. But the goal is to make sure that we are all going in the right direction, and that is towards excellence, and to make sure that black people are able to get every bit of what has been endowed to us by the Creator. So we need to thank God that we have a visionary who wants us to get what's ours by divine right. Right? Okay, so let's give her another round of applause for that. So I have to put on my glasses because I've reached that point in my life where, you know, it is what it is. And so we will start off by giving the welcome, and I'm going to give that welcome myself. I think I just did it. Welcome. Welcome, y'all. Let me give you the official name because Mr. Allen is not here yet, but he will come back in and you will hear from him. But in the meantime, welcome to the historic Pan-African Trade Show and Investment Conference, a tribute to Dr. Alice White Bussie. Now, she is the co-owner of Bussie Floors, celebrating 60 years. Yeah, that's a long, long time. That's older than what I am. You understand, about quite a bit of years, but I just, woo, that's something in itself. And one of the people who was a great her teammate, her partner through all of that Bussie Floors, you see this photo to my right, I'm going to talk about it more later, and that is Jim Bussie, Jim Bussie, because you called him Jim, right? Jimmy, you called him Jimmy. I want to see what she was calling him, Jimmy. We were great friends in the African Methodist Episcopal Church, even though, you know, she would play around with the Baptists a lot. But, you know, but that AME church, that's where it's at, right, Mr. Reverend Wash? That's where it's at. The AME church is everything. I'm just kidding. But we're all family. And he just loved and doted on his wife. He kept saying, you got to meet her. She is ready. She gonna get us ready to see the world. And I never forget when I was ready to go out of the country for my very first time in the year of 2000. He said, let me tell you something about my wife. You know, she done did a whole bunch of stuff that you can learn from. I said, I cannot wait to meet your queen. And so today we're here to celebrate the queen who put together the first African trade mission 32 years ago. So we're going to just go ahead and celebrate that, and that's why we are here on today. And now I'm going to bring up some people in this room, because guess what, y'all? Y'all look good. And I know that you're in this room today, you're in this room because you are somebody. Now, I'm serious about this, you know, because, you know, if you know Dr. Alice White Bussie, she only messed with the best of the best of the best. That means you're somebody. Be glad you're in the room today, okay? Understand that? Because that means if you're in the room, the energy is in the room, the synergy is in the room, and we're going to make stuff happen, not only just to honor her, but we're going to make things happen in this room on today, at this luncheon. So the very first person that we're going to bring up is Mr. Alfonso Washington. Look how he's looking, he's like, oh my God, you need more time? I'm going to talk to you, get up here. He is the Executive Director of the Africa USA Chamber of Commerce, and he will be followed by none other than Helen Butler, who is the Executive Director of the Georgia Coalition of the People's Agenda. We call her Miss Vote, because anything dealing with voting and voting rights in this state or anywhere in the South, really in the country, that will be her. And then the next person, followed by Helen Butler, go ahead, you got these three right now, so they can be ready, will be that of Ricky White, who is with the Africa, All Africa Symposium. So y'all got that order, right? So those are the three that's going to come to us first and bring us all of these wonderful greetings about our honoree on today, in that order. Thank you.
I'm just going to mention the fact that I am an AME, ordained AME minister. And I'll start there because I don't want you to feel that I'm not part of the family. Now, it's hard to follow. I'm not quite sure what sisters, are you Baptist sisters? No. You ain't me. Okay, I'm going to make sure of that now because she can preach. Oh, by the way, you realize that she was preaching just now. Did you get to figure that out? It's hard to follow a good preacher, and I really don't like to do that. But I'm going to do my best. I am the organizer of an event that has just concluded yesterday. This is our 10th year doing what we call the Pan-African Global Trade and Investment Conference. And our goal, for the most part over the past 10 years, has been to facilitate and encourage trade and commerce between the continent of Africa, the Caribbean, and the Pan-African diaspora in those locations and here in America. We've been fairly successful at trying to stimulate trade and commerce through this effort. And we've had a number of accomplishments, which I don't have really time to talk to you about. But one accomplishment we had recently is we just finished the conference here in Atlanta. This was our first time doing this effort outside of the state of California. We have formally done the conference in Los Angeles and in Sacramento. And we made a decision that we were going to try to do something in Atlanta to support a chapter that we established here called the U.S. Africa Chamber of Commerce Network, which is designed primarily to continue to promote, facilitate our efforts through our chamber and through our conference. The chapter is located here in Atlanta, but when we started to plan the conference, we decided that we needed to talk to someone who would help us bring on some good people to make sure that the conference was a success. And so I was instructed that I needed to talk to a young lady, who probably is about a year or two older than me, whose name happened to be Dr. Alice Bussie. So I followed instructions. And we talked to Ms. Bussie, and she began to help us. And one of the good things that she did is not only associating her name and her reputation with our effort, which we appreciate, we really do, but she also brought on Dr. Young to support us as an honorary chair, which we also appreciate. And then she introduced us to some great people. They're right over there in the corner over there. I'm looking at Daryl and Carla, and I'm sorry, Carol. I'm saying her name wrong. Gayla. Daryl and Gayla. And I've been calling Daryl Garrett. I've been calling Daryl Garrett. And between the two of them and Miss Bussie, we were able to successfully accomplish and complete our task of having our first conference here in Atlanta. We can proudly say that the African delegation that came here is already starting to do business in the area. They have follow-up meetings with the Black Chamber. We've identified some investors who are going to begin to help them get them some financing. We're already talking about establishing a work relationship with Morehouse and with Clark Atlanta University. And we're looking at coming back next year even bigger and better and stronger than we did this year. And the reason is because of the great team that we put together with the assistance of Dr. Alice Bussie. One of the things that she reminded me of was that I wasn't doing nothing new because she had already done. Oh, y'all know her too, huh? And so we did a little research. We found out, yeah, that was true. You know, they have a history of trade and commerce with Africa. But we felt that we could kind of add a little bit to it, you know, put some icing on the cake, maybe, you know, grease the wheels a little bit, and make it work even better than it has been working. And we really feel that not only can we do that, but we can expand the effort here and grow it And we are already looking at planning for next year, and we're already looking at people from the Caribbean and from the continent who want to come over to help us make it even bigger and better than it was this year. So we've begun that, and we know that our team is still standing by to help us. And so we welcome you here to honor Ms. Bussie and the work that she has done. Her legacy continues, and we hope that it will continue through the efforts that we are trying to do, establish here in collaboration with the business community and the church community here in Atlanta and in DeKalb County as well, right? We can do something here, can't we? I'm just checking. I saw I walked through a black Wall Street, and it was very impressive. It's a very impressive facility. And I think we need to somehow promote this as we proceed in the future. So we see that there's a lot to do, there's a lot to be accomplished, and we feel very confident about the fact that we're going to do some great things in the future. So we want to thank you, Dr. Bussie, for your work, and we're going to help make sure this thing continues from this point forward. God bless you. God bless you all.
Loudly enough so that I don't really need a microphone, but I am so happy to be here with Miss Alice Bussie. I tell you, I have worked with her over 2 decades now, and I'm just elated to be here. For you that don't know me, I'm Helen Butler. I serve as the Executive Director of the Georgia Coalition for the People's Agenda. It's a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization that was founded by the late Dr. Joseph Eccles Lowry. And our purpose is to improve the quality of governance by gaining an active and informed electorate that will hold our elected officials accountable. So that means that we're in the throes of everything voting right now. And as you know, as business people, there are a lot of public policies that impact your businesses and how you perform and what you can do, as well as what opportunities are available to you within the state of Georgia. So one of our missions, of course, is getting people engaged in that process, because everything begins with the vote. Yes. Everything begins with the vote. That elected official, Dean, you know you were an elected official. You made the public policy. So that would determine, you know, how much American Rescue money you get, right? What part of the infrastructure funds you would get, right? So those people that are making those decisions right now are held accountable to the people, and the people hold them accountable with your vote. In other words, they're your employees, and you got to make sure they do the right thing. So if the vote starts everything that we do, but that's not all we got to do. We got to hold them accountable to what they say when they come and ask you for that vote. What are you going to do for me? Well, come back next week and tell me after you're elected, what's the plan? What part of the money am I getting in my community? How can my business support and thrive in this environment? And listen, we have all of the statewide offices up for election. Most people just look at the gubernatorial candidate, but we have lieutenant governor. We have the attorney general. If you see all the court cases we're losing, it all starts with these elected officials. We have on the ballot a secretary of state. We have a labor commissioner. We have an insurance commissioner. I know you know all about the insurance rates that you have to pay as a business person or as an individual. So those are on the ballot, in addition to all of our congressional representatives. Our U.S. Senator is on the ballot. Well, public service commissioners were on the ballot. They were off, now they're back on, now they're off again. So we will see. But the Public Service Commission determines everything about utilities and telecommunications that you may have, whether your community has broadband. So all of these positions are up for elections: judges, Supreme Court justices, district attorneys, right? Superior Court judges, appeals court judges. So all of these are on the ballot, and they impact our lives every day. I don't care whether I'm a business person or whether I'm an individual. They impact what happens to us in our community. Therefore, it's important that we get involved. And as Ms. Bussie always tells me, all right, Helen, talk about the statistics now, right? Georgia has over 6 million people that are registered to vote. We make up a third of those registered voters. And we have the power. In fact, black people are the majority registered voters in 25 of the 159 counties, and we are the majority registered voters in 150 of the 530 cities. The majority means that we can make the decision to move everybody out of office if we want to. So we just have to leverage that power. And so I'm asking you to join us in leveraging that power. And you know, the best way to celebrate Miss Dr. Alice White Bussie is to get engaged and be involved as a business person from an economic standpoint, but as a citizen of the state of Georgia. So let's do it again.
Harvey White II, and I am one of the first African American or indigenous American information brokers. I became that at 21, at the age 21, about 1979. Can you hear me? Okay. Microphone. Is that right? Okay. And in 1989, I heard about I guess you might say, Olympics coming. I had a communication company, so that there was going to be fiber optic bill. But before, when I landed in Atlanta, I went to a place called, a newspaper called Atlanta World. He said, wow. We sat down and talked, and he said, there's people that you got to meet. That's people you got to meet. Maynard Jackson, Andrew Young. And he said, oh, and this is lady. She's awesome. You definitely got to meet her, because she can basically, I was only 28 years old. Her name was Alice, Dr. Alice Bussie. And she used to tell me, and she became my mentor. She used to tell me, she said, baby, you're working too hard.